Today we're going to do something completely different than what we normally do for an episode. I would love to unpack and read some of my favorite verses one by one through these 3 chapters in today's reading, but I would like to take a little bit of time in exploring how to unpack all of the verses inside of all 31 chapters of Proverbs. I've learned a couple of just keys that have helped me as I've gone through the book a multitude of times to understand where wisdom is and how to find it. Some of it's very clearly laid out within the Proverbs, and other times there's these ways to kind of pick up on the hints. So for one, I would say look for contrast. Often Proverbs will contrast one side or the other. So for example, there's the wise and the foolish, the righteous and the wicked, the Lord's ways and man's ways. So for example, in 16:22, it says, "Prudence is a fountain of life to the prudent, but folly brings the punishment of fools." Or in 14:11, it says, "The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish." And again, in their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. And so we see how you kind of get one side and then the other, and wisdom is in between the two. And then another thing that you can do is look for better statements. So often throughout the Proverbs it says like, okay, this thing's good, like, okay, we see what you're doing, but better is this course of action. So for example, in 17:10 it says, better a dry crust, so dry crust of bread, better a dry crust of bread with peace and quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. So, like, think about that. Have you ever been at a family gathering and there's all this great food, but everyone's a little bit cranky? And you're just thinking, man, like, I would just take a day of peace or a moment of calm. Better is a very simple meal in peace than an extravagant one with a lot of crazy surroundings. Look for the betters, and you can find wisdom tucked in between them. And the last thing is look for imagery. So even though there's short verses, there's all of these pictures all throughout the Proverbs. For example, in 18:10 it says, "The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe." So, like, I don't think of people's names as being a place of safety, but God's is. Like, staying inside of His promises and what He stands for, His name. Plus, His name has so much power. We can say His name. We can call on His name. It is a fortified tower, this strong place where no one can penetrate. The righteous can run there and they're safe. I like thinking in pictures, I like knowing that I can see what I'm looking at, that I can see what I'm hearing. Proverbs is full of all of those little gems. So it's a personal quest to go and find the Proverbs that speak to you. I have these Proverbs often pop up to me in the most random of circumstances. Like, I'll hear little scriptures, and oftentimes it's quotes from the Proverbs or Psalms. And it's like this reminder of, oh, I know what to do because I heard this somewhere before. And I feel secure in that because I know this is the Bible, this is God's Word, this is the right path. I want to be part of the righteous side. I want to be part of the Lord's side. I want to be part of those who follow the Lord and has those outcomes. And we all get to go find for ourselves what those Proverbs are, what those promises are, and how we can live life fully abundant and full of wisdom, knowing that we're living our lives honoring the Lord and that He's present with us because He is.